Hello. We've all struggled in our maths from our school days. Compared to other subjects, it needed more practice and attention. Our human brains aren't simply wired to be good at maths. From an evolutionary standpoint as well, maths was not a survival skill. And instinctively, we take a lot of time to understand fractions, decimals, and other strange things in maths. But today's world is built on mathematics, computer programming, finance, engineering, economics, and so on. A small mathematical mistake can have terrifying consequences. Tons of money or thousands of lives can be at stake due to that small mathematical error. From the past few weeks, I've been reading this book called Humble Pie When Math Goes Wrong in Real World. It's a fantastic book. The book is full of stories and concepts which are funny, educating, and entertaining when maths went wrong in the real world. So I thought I'll share a few of those concepts. Off by one error. Counting is the easiest thing to do in maths. That's where the need for maths started to count things. And people who claim that they are bad at maths accept that they can count. But what if I told you you've been counting wrong all your life? Imagine this, you want to build a fence of 50 feet long and you need a post every 10 feet. How many posts do you need? If your answer is 5, you have committed a classic mathematical error called off by one error. You just calculated the gaps in between the posts but not the number of posts. The number of posts is 6 because you need the first one. We all start to count from 1 when in theory it all starts to count from 0. And if you're into programming, you encounter a lot of off by one errors. To get everything out of the computer code, you need to start from 0. So from now on, start counting from 0 just to get the math right. And on to the second one. There's a thing called salami slicing attack, and many bank employees have been accused of indulging in such a practice. The theory behind this is that if you take salami, that is the tiniest bit of meat, nobody will be able to tell you took any. But if you do that repeatedly, nobody will still be able to notice. But you will end up with a lot of salami, that is meat. And this happens during money transactions. Say suppose you wanted to transfer rupees 1000 to rupees from one account to another. The bank employees round it off to 1000 rupees and move the 2 rupees into another dummy account. They do this to random accounts, never frequently hitting the same account and never taking too much of money, but end up with a lot of money in that dummy account. And the funny part here is that you can't even complain to higher authorities because it's such a small amount of money. And it was this salami slicing strategy was found out by the bank itself when it was looking for its best customer. And then they found this dummy account almost being used every day. And turns out it was their own bank employee stealing money from different bank accounts. And many countries indulge in this salami slicing strategy to expand their territory against their neighboring country. On to the third one. On 5th of July 2011, a 39-story building in South Korea felt it shake up and down. Earthquakes rarely happen in the Korean peninsula. People in the 30th floor panicked and started to evacuate the building immediately. After an official investigation, it was revealed that earthquake had not occurred, but the culprit was the exercise class on the 12th floor. People had been doing the intense workout in the 12th floor. On that day, the instructor put on the power song and urged the people to work out twice as hard. All this rhythmic stomping set up mechanical resonance within the building. The vibrations of the exercise class coincided with the mechanical resonance which was unique to the building. The phenomenon has also occurred before. The Tacoma Bridge in US collapsed in 1940 due to the same reason. On to the last one, the most interesting one of all of these. On 23rd of July 1983, Air Canada 143 was taking off from Montreal to Edmonton in Canada, and it was calculated that it required 22,300 kilograms of fuel. The crew performed their calculations using pounds instead of kilograms, and they filled the aircraft using pounds, and pounds roughly equals only 0.45 kgs. And this resulted in the plane taking off with nearly half as much as fuel as it was required to make it to Edmonton. And halfway through, the plane had any power left. All the electronic guidance, which was crucial for flying the flight, was went dead, and it had 61 passengers and 8 crew members. Luckily, the pilot was also a glider pilot, and he was able to glide it to an disused military base in the town of Gimli. And when others were given the same situation, they all ended up crashing. All this because simple pounds to kg conversion. These are all some of the concepts and stories that I read in this book. There are still a lot of them which are very interesting. So this shows how important maths plays in our lives. So thank you so much, and I hope you all like them.